What's good, Ableton fam? Welcome to the stream. It's officially Ableton Day. It feels like it. Yo, how do I turn this audience off? Yo, what's good, everybody? So it's official. Ableton 12.2 is officially out. And I was just looking back because I made all those videos on the different features, the individual different features, and that was like over 2 months ago. So yeah, they've been beta testing the hell out of this, and it's official. We're all in business. So I just downloaded it earlier this morning. It didn't take longer than usual, so it's a quick download. If you haven't downloaded it yet, open up Ableton. It'll start downloading, and then you'll have to close it, open it back up for it to be in there. But yeah, man, let's take a look at what all is new in Ableton 12.2. Let's check this out. Shout out to everyone for rolling through the live stream. Let's get it. Okay. So you may or may have not received this email this morning. If you didn't receive it, you might want to go on Ableton's website, and I think you can sign up for like push notifications or to get on their email list. So that you know when stuff's happening, when you know that new stuff's out. So this is what the email this morning says. Live 12.2 is here. So you can download it. If you have automatic downloads on, it'll automatically do it. Otherwise, if you don't have that turned on in the settings, you probably should, because you're going to have to go to Ableton, you're going to have to log into your account, and you're going to have to like re-download it. It's a whole process. So if you have to do it that way, sorry for you. Okay, so we got bounce to new track, the all new auto filter, expressive chords, plus explore updates to meld, roar, spectral resonator, and more. Yeah, the plugins, some of these plugins got huge overhauls, and they're completely different. So let's check out the web page here, baby. See if there's anything else here. So you can update for free. Obviously, it's a free update for all users. And most of these updates, if not all of them, by the way, are for all versions of Live. So even if you have like the free version, right, or the light version, do they even still make the light version? I don't know. I know you could get it for free with like some stuff. So that's how I think I first got my free legal copy of Ableton. But yeah, a lot of these new plugins too work with all versions of Ableton Live. So that's dope. Okay, you don't have to pay for Suite for some of these new ones anymore. So we're gonna check out this video. A quick highlight here: bounce to new track. Auto filter got a complete overhaul for real. Auto filter is crazy. Expressive chords. This is actually a really dope new Max for Live device that I'm gonna be using to make different melodies. We'll look at that today because that's dope. Roar, meld. I think we got some big updates to those. Resonators, the spectral resonator. They got scale awareness, tuning systems. A lot of these things have been updated to have the improvements that 12 included as well. So there's even some browser improvements, and these are fire. These are some of the best things in my opinion. So let's take a look at it. And you got some push updates as well if you have a push. I don't have one. In the future, I would like to get a push though. That'd be sick. Oh, and the new move as well. So there you go. Yeah, some updates for that. You guys can check those out if you have one of those devices. But let's take a look at the video here and see what's going on. Straight over to YouTube. Let's check this out.
Ableton Live 12.2 brings huge additions and improvements to Live. Let's take a look. Over on this track, I have some chords. Let's highlight a region, right click, and use the new bounce to new track feature to automatically render the song.
Yeah, this is going to be sick, especially for like people that do sound design.
Reverse it and create a sweet
just being able to do that really quick without the freezing or flattening it, or without having to resample it.
Let's double click on this track to open the device view.
That's really dope.
On this track, I'm using the new Max for Live expressive chords device.
Yeah, this expressive chords is fire. So let me show you guys this, because you may not understand how dope some of this stuff is. All right, so if we jump in here, and I've been making a lot of sounds in Serum. So I've been doing live streams. If you guys haven't caught them lately, you can go check them out. But I've been doing live streams with sound designing different sounds in a drum kit. So for instance, if you're doing something like that, man, this is a cheat code. So let's just open up Serum. I'm going to open up some random patch that I already have created and show you how you can just bounce it to the track really quick. And for anyone that makes their own sounds or anything, this is so dope. Okay, cool. So if I open up like something... Is this Serum 1? Damn, son. Okay. I meant to open up Serum 2, man. I should get rid of Serum 1. It's prehistoric now. It's like a dinosaur. Just kidding. It hasn't been that long. Okay, so like some of the new lives. Yeah, hi-hat. Okay, cool. So this is what I made on yesterday's live stream. this hi-hat sample. Okay, and if you wanted to just bounce this to a track really quick, I'm just gonna go in here. We're gonna type in C. And then what's going on? I want to make sure we're good here. Are we getting hit with the ad? I don't want to go over the important juicy stuff during the ads here. What the hell? Let me see. Make sure the stream's still loaded and doing good. Ableton's taking down the stream already. What the fuck, man? Looks like we're doing okay. Okay, so if you want to bounce it in place right here, you can bounce to new track or bounce track in place. So if you're sound designing, you might want to make like just a bunch of versions of everything, right? You're versioning everything. So you don't want to freeze and flatten it. And you probably don't even want to like create an audio track to resample it. So that's why this is banging. So I can just do bounce to new track. There you go. All right, we bounced it to a new track. You can just reactivate it again, and you can open Serum, you know. Maybe you make another change. Maybe you want to try out how does it sound with this noise instead, all right? And then you just do it again. And then you keep going, right? You just keep making it over and over again. Now, we can go in here, and we have our hi-hat saved on a new audio track for us. How dope. Don't even have to worry about that. It saves so much time. Fire. So that's why that is so dope. And that's just one use case for bounce and track. It just makes things so much easier. That right there is just golden. So bounce track in place is going to remove flatten. Basically, this is a freeze and flatten. You can still freeze it, but as soon as you freeze it, flatten gets taken away. I thought this was interesting. See, there is no flatten now. You can unfreeze it, or you can still just bounce track in place, which is going to do the same thing if it's frozen or not. So freeze still has its use case though, right? Because sometimes you want to freeze the track just to save CPU, or in case you're sending like a project file over to someone and you don't know if they have the plugins or not, or the whatever. So freeze still has its place, but flatten is no longer there. Instead, we have bounce in place. But at this point, it's like, why even do it in place unless you really are just committing it? So that's dope. And if it's frozen, you can still bounce it to a new track. While it's frozen, you could even unfreeze it there. So there's got lots of options. It's dope. Ableton thought that through, and that is amazing. Let's jump back into this video and see what else. Guys, let me know in the chat, which new features are you most excited about? By the way, I have this Ableton 12 playlist. I think I put it in the description. If you guys want to check this out later, I literally went over like all the different things in 12.2. So expressive chords, I have a whole video on that. Bounce to track, I show you how to use that in depth. Roar, all the updates. Okay, so they're all there in the playlist. And let's get back to this video.
Create lush sounding chords.
We're gonna check out expressive chords too. I'm gonna write this down because this shit's dope.
Transpose the chords up and down to fit whatever key I'm in. I can click on this keyboard icon to show how the chords are being played on.
Gotta love the music.
If I want to work with a different set of chords, I can use the hot swap icon to open up the browser and select a different preset.
What's good, Linda's son? Hey, I appreciate the sub. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the fam, the Ableton gang.
Awesome. Let's take it back to the default for now and transpose it back up to my key. I'll close
I think they discontinued the beta updates a while ago. I got rid of the beta as well on my computer.
Different controls that affect how the chords are being played. Tilt changes the weighting of velocity across a chord. Positive values emphasize high pitches.
Damn, they're going into detail on these. Okay. They got a whole expressive chords tutorial in here.
Improved auto.
I think my expressive chords thing is almost this long. It's like a minute and a half. Mine's like 5 minutes. Okay, maybe not the same. Auto filter
now has a spectrum
crazy.
Visualizer.
Got different phasing and LFO options.
Affected a lot easier. Let's turn up the resonance to accentuate the frequencies around the cutoff. We can also toggle the
I mean, that's not new. What's the new stuff, brother?
Notch.
Okay, yes. These filters are so dope. There's like comb filters now.
Some filter
Morph,
types have
DJ
parameters which give you more control. New filter types.
Yeah, some of these are
DJ
fire.
Filter, which emulates the classic low and high pass filter found on Pioneer mixers.
That's fire.
The comb filter creates many peaks and notches throughout the frequency spectrum.
This will be good to use for sound design. I love comb filters.
We also have the resampling filter, which creates a bit crushing effect. We have also reduced
what else?
The output of the wet signal.
I want them to show the phasing. That's the other cool thing about this.
Distortion.
Yeah, here you go. You got some distortion. So if you guys remember, or if you know, in Simpler and Sampler, there's these different filter types right here. I think one of them's like a limiter, one of them's soft clipping. They're a little bit different. Each of them have a different thing, and it allows you to apply like drive to the signal. So it's almost like a little bit of distortion or clipping, saturation, whatever you want to call it. So they added it on here too, which I've noticed they've been adding it to the new plugins as well.
So let's turn up the envelope.
Okay, here we go.
Now the volume of the bass modulates the filter cutoff, which we can see in the background of the visualizer. I can make the envelope negative to reverse the movement. I can adjust both the attack and release times to really dial in the movement. Hold to make sure the entire attack phase is completed before moving on to the release. Turning it off gets us to the release sooner. Turning on channel.
Damn, they got like whole tutorials in this video. They're not just showing it off, they're showing us everything. Guys, there's a lot of new features. I don't know why they're spending this long on each one. Like, there's a ton of little things too. Excellent. Yeah, that's when it gets cool, is when you start adding some actual rhythm to it.
Let's turn sample and hold off for now.
Like, he does it at the very end for 5 seconds. Yeah, bro, you didn't even show the cool stuff. Come on.
Balance between the internal and external signals for triggering the envelope.
Wow, they spent a long time on the auto filter.
Let's turn on the sidechain filter. Ramp down, which always ends at the cutoff position. Wander, which creates some randomized movement in the sound. Yeah,
so here you go. You have some different LFOs that do different things. Like, some of these are more randomized, and some of these have more of a regular pattern. You got like the triangle, saw,
cutoff position.
Here you go. Square, wander. How do I go frame by frame? Can't you use the arrows on here? Yeah, but maybe not when I'm streaming.
And sample and
there you
hold,
go.
Which creates movement in discrete steps.
I think this could maybe be cool in melodies and things like that.
Most LFO shapes feature a morph parameter, which allow you to bias the LFO shape. Underneath that,
gets crazy real fast.
Dotted or 16th notes to create some polyrhythms.
Okay.
Up top, we have
anyways, let's check out what's new with Roar.
Live 12.2 features
Roar is fire. I've been using it a ton.
Roar now has a sidechain panel, which allows it to be responsive to musical elements around it. Let's enable the MIDI to feedback note.
A lot of the plugins have been updated with this sidechain thing. It looks a little bit different, feels a little bit better.
Feedback, and you'll start to hear that the pitch of the feedback changes with the bass notes. Awesome, let's hear it in the mix.
So taking MIDI from the bass, that's interesting.
Drums, I'll use the new dispersion filter in Roar. This offsets the high frequencies from the low ones to create a pitchy, bubbly effect. Let's open up the modulation panel, go to the matrix, and map LFO1 to the frequency to add a little.
Now you lost me.
Notice how the corresponding LED in the modulation section turns yellow to show that it's being used.
Interesting. I never thought to even modulate these filters.
Great.
Or automate.
How this section
whatever you want to call it.
So let's move on to the next one. I'll zoom out in the
all right, meld.
Instance of meld,
pretty much,
which now features a new chord oscillator. This allows
you have this chord oscillator
chords out of single MIDI notes. Let's put this in key.
Though I don't know who's he gonna use. I mean,
and I'll also
we'll play with this afterwards and check it out a little more.
Oscillators A and B and turn up the release. Sounding great. I can play with both the shape of the chord and the inversion with these macros. Let's go to the matrix and map LFO1.
They've made this meld like foolproof. I feel like no matter what you do, it sounds good. They've really designed it well.
Effects to oscillator macro 2. I'll open up the LFO panel and use the new
Holy smokes! Yeah, these new these LFOs.
I'll turn off re-trigger on the LFO to create some more movement. Awesome. I'm going to use oscillator B as a sub, so I'll put it down 2 octaves, turn up the shape and tone to really hear it, and maybe turn up the drive.
What is even going on right now? This guy's going hyperdrive and it's not sounding good.
I'd like to make the sound a bit more harmonic, so let's go to the browser, go to our audio effect.
Yeah, we're on to the next, buddy. Resonators.
I could even switch the resonators mode here.
You guys use the resonators much? This is one effect that I haven't played with too much, to be honest. I mean, I've tried it out, but...
I'd like to add a melodic element to this section. So let's open up the browser, go to our samples, and show the filters. I'll go to Sounds, Voice, and see if I can find a vocal loop. Let's click here and hit Rank to show our most used.
The new browser updates too, because the browser on 12 was like, it was a good start, but they needed some serious tweaks, and they made those serious tweaks with 12.2. Like, it's so much better.
Okay, this one's kind of interesting.
Even like the find similar samples, like you click this little button, it'll find other things in your database, in your hard drive, that are similar to that, have similar harmonic profiles. That's really dope.
More percussive than a voice to me. So let's use the new quick tags and add our own percussive tag.
Nice. There you go. They added that. Okay, good. I actually made a video on this. The auto tagging. Before, to create a new tag, you had to like go into here and click add tag in one of these menus, because I was trying to like add new tags and I'd hit enter and it would just delete it. I was like, that doesn't make much sense. So now, if you make a new tag, I'm glad to see they did this. It adds it when you hit enter. It doesn't delete it.
Solo voice tag. I'll then open up the tag editor.
Intuitive.
To create my own.
Yeah, this is where exactly. This is where you had to do it before, and they didn't have that other option. I was like, just hit enter and create. I don't know why you wouldn't do that, but now they got it. Let's go.
Add the wonky tag to this as well.
There you go.
Other sounds we can find that are similar to this.
Now we got to go help people.
Damn, ads. I guess I got to sign up for YouTube Premium. Let's go.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm liking the results of this search. So let's save it as a user label for easy.
This is really cool. So when you do a similar search, that's when you click that little button, it'll look through your hard drive and find samples that have similar harmonic profilers. They're similar to the sound that you selected. And this will actually give you a similarity meter. It'll tell you how close it is to that sample. So it's going to be a good and a bad thing, right? If people are, this is really funny, if people are just copy pasting samples from other people's drum kits, you're going to know right away if you have those other drum kits, because it'll tell you, oh, these are exactly the same. It's funny. But anyways.
In the browser. I can even right click on it and give it its own custom icon.
Oh yeah, this is cool. So for everybody that loves to stay organized, that's me. I got to stay organized because I have so many samples. You can now customize the side right here. You can actually pick what icon you want. You can make new folders and you can place things in them. And you can choose different icons now.
Cool.
Wonky loops. There you go.
And drag it into the section. I like to make this a little bit.
Sounds
more
good,
melodic.
dude. Good choice.
Mute the meld staffs for a second. Go to audio effects and use the spectral resonator. Spectral resonator can now be tuned to the current scale. So let's turn that on. I can also quantize all the harmonics to use the current scale to make this sound like it's playing chords. Let's switch the frequency control mode to scale degrees and play with the pitch.
Color base, here you go.
Stretch. And maybe lower the number of harmonics to give it a low pass effect.
Yeah, the addition of this scale awareness on all these different plugins and Ableton Live 12 is dope, especially for things like this. It just saves you so much time. You don't have to worry about it or even think about it.
Turn up the unison to make it wide, and turn up the decay to make it longer. Let's hear it with my meld stabs. Feels pretty good. Now,
does it feel good?
This track. Go back to my browser and add roar to this. I'll use the new delay routing mode in roar to give it some spaciousness. I'll switch the delay mode to synced, switch it to eighth notes, and turn up the amount for some feedback. Let's add some distortion on just the delayed signal. I like the delay to response at the drums, so let's enable
That's a cool idea.
sidechaining and set the input from our drums track. Let's take a listen here. Let's open up the modulation panel and take a look at the envelope input.
Guys, going so fast, I have no time to even understand what's going on.
So let's turn the frequency down. Let's disable the sidechain input preview and go over to the matrix. Let's select the frequency cutoff of the filter and map the envelope to it, so that whenever the kick hits, the filter ducks down.
Just kind of going faster, is it just me?
Let's adjust the blend to hear the difference between the delayed signal, which has the modulation, and the direct signal, which doesn't.
Oh my goodness.
Cool. Let's close out of the browser. Hear this in the mix.
Hey, what's good, DJ Emo? Appreciate the sub. The DMB folk, yeah. I've been seeing them use that a lot as well for the what is it, color based? I don't know if that's the right terminology for it, but there's a lot of cool plugins they've been making for that now. So that's cool that Ableton has some stock ones. Guys, let me know, what features are you most excited about? We're gonna take a look at some of these now. Okay, meld is crazy. The browser is freaking dope. Let's take a look at that first. All right, guys. Yeah, go if you want to see anything in depth here. We got videos on all of these, okay? And they don't have enough views. I'm sad, but you can make me feel a lot better by checking those out. Also, I took a month off, and now my videos aren't getting views, guys. Do you remember? I'm still here. My channel still exists. I swear. Okay. I took a little bit of time off. I had some shit going on. I need you to watch these videos. Here I am begging for views. No, but we got some new videos. If you guys do want to check those out, a lot of these are like designing sounds from scratch. There's some crazy summer plugin sales going on right now. I'm doing like a whole thing where I'm making a whole drum kit from scratch. So there's going to be a lot of videos on sound design, and then we're going to get back into some like Beatz, dope stuff like that. So shout out to you guys. Alrighty. Glad to see the streams popping. Okay. Badass. All right. Expressive chords. We got to check that out. But first, let's check out this browser, okay? Because this browser, they did some work on it. Is this updated? Hold on. Okay, that's why. I want to go into this new kit. So this is a snare sound that I made. It's pretty average. I like. There. Let's do this. And it's going to find what's similar to this result. And it even shows you a similarity meter here. Oh, this audio too right here. So this would be a frozen. So this is probably when I froze it after I did it in Serum. Yeah. See how it shows that one's not as similar? It sounds the same to me though. I don't know. This works. Oh, it's on similar days. Okay, or it's a one day after another. So that's crazy. That's funny. That's like all the snares I've been practicing and working on the last couple days. So, somebody made this snare. This was in, or wait, I think this is actually in one of my kits too. So there you go. I'm not stealing my sounds. Got decap in here. That's kind of fire. Did I make that too? I don't know. Anyway, so I really like that. That's cool. And that's going to be interesting to see what people do with that. So also, if you click over here, you can now go by rank, size, type. Like if we want to go by the size of the file type, here, we can actually organize our samples by the size. How fire is that? That's one of the best things ever. Because sometimes, especially for us sound design guys, or if you're looking for something from a long time ago, let's go back in here. You might want to organize it by size. It'll help you figure out what you're looking for. Otherwise, where's the time? Date modified. Here we go. Date last modified. That one right there is going to be a killer. You might be like, what was that sample I was working on 2 months ago? Let me organize by that. Okay, let's see. These are from that month. Obviously, these are folders, but you get the idea. Date modified. That's dope. Okay, type. I think type is going to be like, has to do with tags maybe? I don't know. Let's see. If I open up a folder. Oh, it's going to tell us the sample type, right? It's a wave sample. Interesting. If I find an MP3 file, I don't know if I don't make MP3s. So if I go into like something like a hi-hat folder like this, there's a FLAC file. Okay, so what does it say if I do it now? Type. It says flat. Cool. So it shows you can organize by the file type. That's pretty dope. Okay. Date modified size rank. Interesting. What is this rank thing? Like how often you've used it? I'm not sure. Size, place. Oh, so it tells you what folder it's in. Okay, so it's in the... That's kind of cool, too. What folder all these samples are in. So if you're, like, deep in this, or if you're searching, that'd be cool. So if you're like, yo, hi-hat sample... Well, I don't even know if I'm going to have that. Let's say hi-hat 3. Okay. You're like, oh, damn, that's sick. But what folder is that in? Because you could say right-click and then show in Finder, show in your folder, whatever. But maybe you just have this in here. Did it work? It did. Let's stretch this over. There we go. And it shows you what folder it's in, like the top folder. Interesting. That'd be cool if it could show you like the folder deconstruct, because I know this isn't in that folder by default. Like I know it's not in sauce packs, because in my sauce packs is just like all my drum kits, right? There's nothing in here. So it's deeper than that. It's in one of these other folders. So that would be cool if Ableton would update that at some point and put the nearest folder. Or maybe it shows you the whole path. Like, if it showed you the whole path, that'd be cool. So it's showing you the top folder. That's interesting. Okay. I don't know if it's as cool, but it's a good idea, and it could be cooler in the future. So, something to think about. Show file extensions. So if I turn that off, oh, it actually gets rid of it out of the name. That is cool. Nice. Okay. That's actually kind of cool. Hide all extra columns. Okay. And now we have this, which I think is good. It should be collapsed by default and trigger it on there. And this is if you want to get into the tagging. If you want to look for things with certain tags, create new tags. Okay. You can open the tag editor, which is over here. This allows you to add new tags. A boo tag. New tag. And there you go. It pops up right there. And now I can tag anything with that. Or I can go to this one and I can add it down here now. Oh, it already has it. Hold on. Let's do this one. Okay, cool. It'll autofill it. And then let's do a new one. So let's say this tag doesn't exist yet. Okay, in the video it looked like it created it. So what am I doing wrong here? So you... is there a certain thing I'm missing? Wait. How do you create a new tag? Because if I hit enter, it just deletes it. In the video, it looked like it did it. How do you... There should be like a add new tag button here. So that doesn't make any sense to me. It should just be hit enter. And you can see none of the ones I just made are down here anywhere. In the video, it looked like it worked. Maybe I'm tripping. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's not over here. I want to see if it was like under user. No, it doesn't make it because you think it would add it too. Okay, so the tag has to already exist, or you have to press add tag. Wait, it says add. That's weird because it says, okay, so it says add, but that's like to add ones that already exist. Okay. I'm not sure if there's like a hotkey or something that you have to press to add a new one, but Ableton, it looked like it did it in your commercial, but hey, I don't know about that. I don't know. Doesn't work. Anyways, I'm over it. So the browser is cool. It'll be even cooler once they get it. All right. Enable auto tags. Watch, there's like a setting that I need to click, but still, like, enable auto tags. Yeah, that'll send your computer into a frenzy. Hide all filter groups. Okay. Still dope. Clear. I like that. Okay. And also, I don't think this isn't 12.2, but the history thing is cool too, because if you forgot like where you were at or need to go back to a sample, using that history is fire. So I love that. Oh, that is always nice. Nice. You got the updates? Yeah. All right. So the browser's fire. Expressive chords. Let's take a look at this because this thing's fire. Okay. Expressive chords. So this is, I believe, a Max M4L device. Yeah. But it literally lets you play the hi-hat on different notes of your keyboard. Let's actually pick out like an instrument that Ableton has. Yeah, let's go to Meld actually. So if we go into our instruments, let's pick out one of Ableton's Meld instruments. How about keys? Damn. Random keys? How about some good keys? Okay, let's see how this sounds. Like, I want to give them a fighting chance here, so let me pick a good patch, alright? There we go. That could work. Wow. Yo. Did it really open up like that? Does it go away? Okay. Oh, so that icon is different than it used to be, too. Interesting. Look at that. So each note on your keyboard is going to be a different chord. That's what's sick about this. So that's a dope chord right there. If you wanted to invert it, okay, maybe not that low. So you can tilt it, so you can give it a little bit of that tilt. I love the crackling in the background. And then you have a strumming in here as well. And then how you articulate the strumming. And if you were to keep this, let's see. Okay. Like, I feel like I could make a boom bap beat right there, and I'm literally playing random notes on the keyboard. That's why this little device is so dope. We have different views here. If you'd rather view it this way, it tells you what notes are actually being played inside of the chord. I love that. It even tells you which note is being strummed first. Anyways, that's how sweet this plugin is, okay? And you can get in here and... Oh, shoosh. Yeah. If you want to get real crazy with it. This articulation editor is really cool, though. If there's a certain way you like your articulations, you could do that. Like, maybe we want it to be quicker, but we want this first. Maybe we want that to come first, and then everything else. Something like this. Whoops. Yeah, I think you got to click save. Yeah, you have to hit save after you finish, by the way. That's pretty cool. And you can get into all the crazy modulation here. You can even import chords from a clip. So that's pretty dope, because there's websites that take chords from like famous songs, and you can just download it into a MIDI. And then you can literally import that MIDI in here. And any song that you like, you could steal the chords and make your own beat out of it. And you can see how easy it is to make a melody with this thing, right? Lay down a couple chords. Put a couple effect plugins on it. Call it a day, my guy. So yeah, that's sick. Expressive chords. Dope. All right. This is Meld. Meld's fire. Let's see. This chord is one of the new things here. Can you hear it? How do I turn it up? A, B, A. If we turn off this one, you'll hear it. So you can control the tune of the chord as well. The shape. Oh, here we go. Put down the octave. And the LFO is in here. Now you have two FX you can apply to these. What was the scrambler? Is this controlling anything? This is the LFO one. Crazy. But yeah, so you can, these are the new, this is the new thing I think from 12.2 is this scrambler, and it scrambles a signal. Okay, so if I do LFO 1, let's put this one down just so we can see. I want to put this maybe on like the shape. So if we go over to the matrix, LFO 1 on the shape. Okay, so if we start moving it, it should show up, right? Boom. Let's put it all the way up. Okay, now you can see it's going crazy on that LFO, the scrambler. But I believe this is the FX1 to LFO FX. Oh yeah, you can hear it. So this plugin gets crazy. I mean, this is I think one of the most detailed. This might be the most detailed plugin, I should say, instrument that Ableton's made to date, and it sounds fantastic. So if you're into making your own sounds, definitely check out Meld. Okay, let's take a look at Roar as well. There's some updates to Roar. In fact, is there an 808 in this song? Let's see. Disgusting. Let's get that new Roar on here. There's Roar. So yeah, a lot of the plugins, this is what the sidechain now looks like. So it's over here. You can do an external source, and that's where you select it right here. And then you can even mix it into the signal. That's fire. Or you can do MIDI from the feedback mode from another source here. So that's cool. Or you can just hide it, which it is by default. But let's hear this. I thought this delay thing was cool that he showed in the video, though I don't know about for an 808. That's I mean, yeah, Roar goes crazy as well. Roar's pretty far. I love this tube one right here. Let me see this really quick. It would be cool to try out this feedback thing. Wait, it's MIDI from... Okay, let's see. Hold on. Feeding itself back into it. Let's try something else, though. Actually, let's try the hi-hat. That might be crazy. making it sound like really hollow. MIDI. Let's try Sparks. Sparks even on? I don't think Sparks is on in here, so. Kick isn't playing. Let's try snare. That one sounds fair. Yep. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is the Ableton 12 playlist. So yeah, here if you guys want to check out all of the stuff that's new with browser. The new automation workflow is so fire. For making different automations, definitely check that out. That's a quick video. It's a minute. The auto filter is obviously crazy. It goes in depth. Meld had those crazy updates. Roared had those crazy updates. Bounce and track, expressive chords. So I have a little video here for all of them. You can see they're pretty short. So guys, go check that out. The link is in the description below. This is Ableton 12.2. This is pretty fire. I'm excited. I'm excited to start playing around with this more. Maybe I'll make some more videos breaking it down again. All the new stuff. Maybe there's more to learn. I mean, I thought in the video that tag was going to add after I did this, but maybe they're scamming us. No, wait, hold on. Wait, you can click on these. What happens if you click on it? Does it take you to where it's at? I didn't know you could click on it. Why would they have that, but you can't press enter and add the tag? Huh. Anyways. Guys, this has been dope. I appreciate everyone for coming through. Download Ableton 12.2. It is a free update for all versions of Ableton. It doesn't take very long. There's a bunch of really dope updates. The browser makes way more sense. It's a lot of fun. Guys, if you're looking for more Ableton content, hit up that playlist I already showed you, all right? Description below. And more videos on the way. Let's catch a